find out when he's coming through. Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning.
I didn't hear you. Good morning.
Good morning.
That's good. You woke me up. I want to talk about releasing and letting go. It's kind of interesting because I normally don't have problems writing a lecture or doing a lecture, but for some reason this week or last week it was kind of difficult. So my guide said people have to really let go. They have to let go. We all have problems today. Some are small, some are large. Some has to do with fear, frustrations, anxieties, the economy, the world changing, you name it. We all have something to do about worrying about it. And to be honest with you, worries don't do anything except two things. Get you a heart attack and wind up in the hospital. So we got to let go. So what I did is I called my angel, my guide, and she said, "I'm sorry, the line's busy. Call back later." But anyways, we have to ask our spirit guides or go right directly to God. And I'm sure God's very busy right now. I think the last time I was checking his waiting list, it was about a light year away. People are really having problems today. So go to your guide, because everyone sitting here has a spirit guide. You may not know the name, you don't know who they are, but they're there. So ask them. Just say, "I have a problem or an issue. I would like to have you intervene." Now, I was kind of interested about a year ago, or so, no, it was less than that. I was sitting back and I said to myself, I'm going to stay local. I live in Melbourne. I'm not going to go anywhere, just do the meetings and churches and so on and so on. And my guide said, "No. Well, you never argue with a guide. Trust me." And I said, "No, I want to stay local." She said, "No, you're going to travel." I said, "No, I'm not going to travel." Next thing I knew, the phone rang and I was in Arizona. And I just came back from Iowa. So you never argue with a spirit guide. They know everything about you. And that's pretty important. We seem to forget that. You know, as human beings, we think, we know everything. I don't care what degree you have, PhD, this or that. But we only see a portion of our lives in front of us. Spirit, on the other side, sees everything, totally. And they're right beside us all the time. And all we have to do is say, "Can you help me?" And they would be right there. Many times I've said, "I got to do this, I got to do that," and my guide tells me you got to do something different than we're just talking about. So we have to depend on the guide to help us direct ourselves in life. Because if we don't, the way things are, we're not going to do too well. We have to do that. It's very difficult because we're human beings. We're human beings. We have to feel something, see something, and everything else in order to believe. But the spirit guide is always there. God, the infinite power, is always with us as well. He's always with us as well. So we can connect with God too. And I kidded about him being so tied up he can't work with you, but he does. God works with you if you ask. If you ask from the heart and soul, that's important. Most people have to read this and that. If you communicate with your guide and God from your heart and your soul, you will have that connection. Does it work? Absolutely. I've been doing this work for a long time. I'm only going to be 35 this January. I figured somebody would pick that up. But I've been doing this for a long time. I was taught by real great teachers, and I believe everything what they taught me, and it seems to work out very, very well for me. Or I wouldn't be doing this work. Don't give up. Don't look down. Think positive all the time. You know, one of the things that I've learned is when I wake up in the morning, I say, I'm going to do it. I don't care what it is, I'm going to do it. If it's even going out and cutting the lawn, I'm going to do it. We don't like to do these things, but we have to keep reinforcing our subconscious mind to think positive, not negative. How many times do we get up in the morning and say, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, I don't want to confront this one, I don't want to confront that one. And what happens is that we feel sick about it. And by the way, one of the lectures I'm going back some years ago, it was called Wings, Thoughts Have Wings. Thoughts have wings. And it's true. Every time you think negative, it goes out. Every time you think positive, it also goes out. So we have to start thinking positive about things. And one of the things that we forget to do is to love who we are. We don't love who we are anymore. I asked this girl to sit down and write the word love. She couldn't do it. So we have to love who we are, because if we can't love ourselves, we can't love anybody else. We can't love anybody else. So connect with Spirit, and somebody will add, and I teach it a lot, and I won't go through the whole ramifications, but all you have to do is just sit still and say, I need your help. I need your help. And get up and walk away, do something, clean the dishes, whatever you want to do. And you will feel something different about you, that you need to do something, and that's spirit intervention. That's spirit intervention. It works all the time. I was out in Arizona, and I came back, and I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking about this couple I went to. We graduated from college together, and I went to the wedding and everything else, and I was thinking about them. I haven't thought about these two for a couple of years now. So I got out and I said, there's something really wrong here with the two of them. So I found his number and I called him. Actually, he's right next door to me out in Arizona. I didn't even know it. And his wife is still in New England, Massachusetts, so he's separated. So Spirit will work that way. Spirit will work that way. I do a lot of writing. It's kind of funny because I was sitting there at Dunkin' Donuts, for example, writing all the time. And this girl comes over and she says, what are you doing? I said, I'm the undercover boss. I'm writing about you. And she started laughing. But the point is, we can communicate with our spirit guide in many ways, either by thought or by writing. And it's kind of interesting because most of the books I wrote, not all of them, was written by Spirit. They gave me the idea to put it down. So Spirit will work with you if you work with them. You know, I found out over the years that they don't want to intervene unless you ask them. They're right beside you, right back at you, but they won't do anything unless you say, I need some help right now. Then it come charging in. And what happens is you see a lot of things change with them around you and you. You feel the difference. They're not going to text you, by the way. Trust me. They're not going to give you a phone call, but you're going to get that feeling they're there. And once you do, you know you're on the right track. So try it. Try it and see what happens. And don't be disappointed if it doesn't happen instantaneously, because we want everything done the following day. That's how we are. Give it some time and keep doing it, and it will actually work in. And I'm surprised because next time I see you, I want to get a written report from each and every one. Thank you very much.